Michael Wolff said we should let Trump himself if he decides to lie and say he's never been on your jet or at your house and all this business, then we'll be able to use that as political leverage. Michael Wolff was like advising Jeffrey Epstein towards the end of Epstein's life as Donald Trump was running for president.
Reporting on this and has been mentioned in the Epstein files. He has graciously agreed to come on, Michael.
The star at the moment until they become bigger stars. But right now,
I want to play something from a journalist, and just to get your response. And this is Tara Palmieri. She posted,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want.
What's her name?
And this is Tara Palmieri.
Tara Palmieri.
Really? Oh God! As a journalist, like reading his emails with Epstein, I'm like, how can you be giving PR advice to a pedophile?
Yeah.
He's like, then if you have this on Trump, he can just make you look like you're a victim of cancel culture, and this is what you should do. And I'm just like, what? And
why?
And we also have to remember that Michael Wolff is still sitting on a lot of Jeffrey Epstein tapes, which I'm sure he will be using for some commercial purposes, as in a book, a TV series,
a Netflix
I don't
special,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we're just gonna have to wait on that. I know that he did have a podcast with some of it in there, but like it's the other side of the conversation that he's having with Jeffrey Epstein that's really, really concerning to me. That this is the way he operates. But I guess if you want to become pals with a pedophile, you gotta act like this. But I also just feel like ultimately, like, didn't you know, like, you knew this all along?
Yeah. For years, because this has been out. I mean,
you can kind of put it together based on Michael Wolff's smugness, how he's like sort of he's cynically proud of the fact that he's had to sell his soul to get him into these so-called rooms to get these scoops. He's had to sell off his own dignity, and she is probably calling him out on that, and he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. What's the word? He's like upset that he has to defend himself on that front. He's like, what's the dude's name from A Few Good Men when you put him up, Jack Nicholson's character? Kind of reminds me of that. Like, he wants to admit it because that's just how the world is. Okay, this is the real world, son. Well, you can't handle the truth. Right. Exactly.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Not first thing, I think she's incompetent and an asshole, and I'm going to pass on that.
Okay. Well, she's saying that you should release all of
I know. She doesn't know.
He cut him off. He didn't even want to hear what Don Lemon. He didn't even let Don Lemon finish the sentence. He reacted so adversely to it. He's coping hard. Yeah. The fact that he wouldn't let Don Lemon nope, we're not going there, which is suspicious. I mean, that's just a little suspicious to me.
Blah, 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 blah. Forget about it. Let's not go there.
Okay, well, let me ask you, do you think that is there information that you should release, you believe?
I have been the only one who has been releasing information. This is all fueled, remember, so
he's like, I am implicated hardcore.
For the election, I released a set of recordings that had Jeffrey Epstein talking in detail about his relationship with Donald Trump.
He said, shut it down, producer Berg.
I actually expected, okay,
back to the goy slop, says Michael Wolff.
Crickets. And again, I mean, I've been on, I had a great deal of problems when my book about the campaign came out in February of this year. Great, I mean, the book went on the bestseller list and all that. There's no complaints, but it was.
He's just here to sell his books.
It's almost impossible to get on television to talk about this book, and partly because Donald Trump was scaring everybody, he was suing everybody.
Yap.
Her relationship.
Do you think? Folks are saying that you should be subpoenaed, by Congress or whatever. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's a terrible thing for you to say as a journalist that a journalist should be subpoenaed. I really take exception to you, and I'm going to. I'm going to let you. But you're repeating this now, so I'm going to let you reconsider that and say that would be a terrible thing.
Wow! Wait, let's go back. This is hilarious. This guy is so ornery. He's so prickly.
Folks are saying that you should be subpoenaed, by Congress or whatever. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's a terrible thing for you to say as a journalist that a journalist should be subpoenaed. I really take exception to you, and I'm going to.
I'm not saying that.
I'm going to let you but you're repeating this now, so I'm going to let you reconsider that.
Wow.
And say that would be a terrible thing if you, a journalist, were subpoenaed by Congress. So I'm going to let you say that.
Well,
I'm sure you believe it.
No, I mean, but if I was subpoenaed by Congress, I would go and speak to them. I mean, but
Well,
I mean,
then-
it would also
then-
depend on the
then-
situation, Michael. Let me
well,
finish.
then you would be
depend on
wrong,
the
because
situation
then
for
is-
what
then
I
is-
would be if I had
yeah,
information that Congress
well,
needed.
Look, he's
then-
not. He doesn't even want to. He's such a this dude.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, I have a lot of information.
hate
That's
this
what,
guy.
That's what I do. But I
I don't like either of them really, but I really don't like Michael Wolff in this.
am a journalist. I would resist any effort by any governmental body to make me compromise my sources
Meh.
or to.
That's a whole other thing, Michael.
Well,
I
it's
don't
not
think
a
you
whole.
should
It's not
compromise
a.
or give
It's
up
not,
your
it's
sources.
not a.
You should
It's
protect
not
your
a whole.
sources.
It's not. Yes. So that's why we don't appear before Congress.
Okay. Is there anything before we move on? Is there anything that you would have done
He
differently?
seems completely innocent.
that you
Yes.
think in-
Not a thing. In what would you think that I should have done differently? I mean,
I
now I'm.
don't-
Hey, he's sore about it. He's like he's gotten 3rd-degree burns for however long, and now he's like surfacing in the news again, and he's like, God, I hate this shit. What do you want me to do?
I'm on the hot seat, and you're fundamentally accusing me of.
It's like Sam Altman talking to Tucker Carlson, being like, I can't believe you're accusing me of murder, and Tucker's like, I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying it's weird. I'm like, so defensive, Michael Wolff. Why doth the lady protest so much?
Of something. I don't know what you're accusing me of. But you
Michael.
see,
What? He's accusing. He's feeling attacked just by questions. Hey, let's go back to this.
That's a whole other thing, Michael.
well,
I'm
it's
not
not a
saying you
whole.
should
It's
compromise
not.
or give
It's
up
not.
your
It's
sources.
not.
You
A,
should
it's
protect
not a
your
whole.
sources.
It's not. Yes. So that's why we don't appear before Congress.
Okay. Is there anything before we move on? Is there anything that you would have done differently? You think?
Not
Not
a thing. In what would you think that I should have done differently? I mean, now
I
I'm
don't know.
on the hot seat, and you're fundamentally accusing
Look, he didn't like that. He no. Look, Michael. Nobody's attacking you.
me of something. I don't know what you're accusing
Look, he's what?
me of.
Michael,
but you
Michael,
seem
let me
to
tell you,
be
Michael,
accusing me. Just
Michael,
tell me.
Stand by.
What would
I'm
you
not
think?
accusing you of
Okay, well, what would you think that I should
This is a train wreck.
have done differently, or that I might consider having done differently? Just tell me.
I don't know, but I mean, it's by giving advice.
Don, if you begin a question by saying, "What would you have done?" Do you think
He's not letting him
you
speak.
should have done differently? You
No,
must have something-
I said, no, that's not what I said. I said, is there anything you would have done
Okay,
differently?
you
And the
must
answer
have-
is yes.
That's a perfectly normal question to ask somebody. Like through it all, we're talking about. I mean, it's not like we're talking about a football game or how he spent his day. It's like we're talking about a international sex pedophile human trafficking ring that he was intimately connected to the guy at the top of that. This is an international scandal, and he's just like he's so hyper defensive. It's hilarious.
Yes or no?
No,
That's
you
it.
must have had something in mind that I might
did not.
have done
I
differently.
did not,
don't know.
but I'll think about it now. I actually have
Don,
not.
Don,
He's like, now that this is gonna make me. It's like when he shut him down about the Tara Palmieri reference. I'm like, well, maybe I need to go listen to Tara Palmieri and see what she has to say. He's awfully thorny about it.
we've talked a lot online and offline. You've never asked me before if there is anything that I might have done differently.
No, I don't think there's anything that's not. Well, I mean, Michael, I'm not going to ask you every single question as we've talked offline. I told you that.
I know. I'm just saying, if there is something that you think that I should have done differently, then just ask it, and I'll say yes
Okay,
or no. But I would be curious about what you think that might have been done differently.
If you had to go back.
He's so guilty, dude. Look at him. He's like, wah, wah. It's like now cue the Curb the Enthusiasm theme song.
And change it. Would you have given him advice on how to get leverage over Donald Trump?
First thing, wait, let's. There was.
Look, okay, she was old. What's the big deal? I'm just waiting for him to say it. He's like, you can't handle the truth. We live in a world, son. We live in a world with. What am I supposed to do? Not receive a massage from them? It was my friend, Jeffrey Epstein. He said, look, you want a massage? You're awfully tense. I said, sure. What's the big idea? You would have done the same thing.
Talk about the nature of this so-called advice. I talk about the media business all the time. You talk about the media business all the time.
You were both in the media business, jerk off.
It is our chatter in trade. This is what we talk about. This is what I talked about with Epstein, or what I would talk about with you.
The conversations that you had with Jeffrey Epstein are the same exact caliber and quality as talking to Don Lemon, for sure.
The point about what to talk about with Epstein was, you got to make a relationship with somebody. That's how you get in the room. That's how you get the story. The fact that
sometimes that relationship is simple. Sometimes you have to wear knee pads. Look, I did what I had to do, okay? I stand by my performance. I had the best in all of DC from 1995 to 2005. I was the king.
I talked about the media business. I mean, come on. This is like of no harm and negligible meaning, in fact.
Okay, Michael, listen. I've known you for a long time. We've known each other. I feel like I'm not trying to
I feel like you're hiding something.
attack you. I feel like that I'm being, pretty respectful.
Yeah, why would you, speaking of journalistic integrity, like, as a journalist, isn't he supposed to ask questions that might be so flowery? And, we stand corrected because I forgot who it was, but one of you, and I agreed with you, said that this was going to be a softball interview, but it seems like it is, but yet he's treating it like Don Lemon's lobbing softballs, and Michael Wolff is like striking at them like they're like speedballs.
I feel like you're awfully defensive about something a question that I just asked. And I don't think you should feel that way. I know that I can't tell you how to feel.
I'm partly defensive, if that's...
Yeah, partly, you think? Finally, he's self-acknowledging.
If that's what I am, because we had a discussion before this. You're now putting me in the position that Piers Morgan put you in after telling me that we wouldn't have this discussion.
After Piers Morgan unearthed that Don Lemon was having a liaison and an intimate relationship with a known international, the number one on earth.
Because I said, Jesus, I'm just really, I have nothing more to say. I'm tired of this. And I also feel that you're being disingenuous. You know how journalism works. You've been around, you are a journalist. You've been around journalists your entire career. You know what it takes.
Okay, Colonel Jessup.
To get inside track on a story. And the process.
He's like, I've had to do a lot of that I'm not proud of, but I did it anyway because I love my country.
So, you've booked guests endlessly. How did you book?
Look, Michael Wolff's just here to sell some books. Why are you stopping him from doing that?
Those guests by...
You need me on that wall. You want me on that wall.
Most often...
Once you see it, you can't not see it.
Really sucking up to them. You got to get the relationship before you can get the story. So that's why I'm...
Sucking up. It's an odd choice of words there.
I'm not... I'd say I'm not defensive. I'm irritated. Come on. You're not a numbskull. And you know the score, and you know what we do. And you're just now...
You know what we do.
Really. Okay, Michael. Okay. I imagine it's been... you should be irritated. I respect that you're irritated. I understand that. I was considering the last couple of days. But what we talked about, I said to you, I have to ask you a question about it. And you said, okay, you're a friend. Go on.
No, I didn't. We can read this. I said to
you, Michael, I've been defending you because...
I do not want...
This is like the pre-podcast conversation they're now having live on air. This is what that is.
Want you to be disingenuous.
I'm not being disingenuous.
Yes, you are.
I'm not accusing you of anything.
Oh my
that's not what
goodness.
Disingenuous means. Disingenuous means that you know the answer to this, and you're pretending.
That's why I'm asking you.
And you're pretending that you don't. You know how journalists get stories. I just went through this, so I won't repeat myself. But the relationship that we establish with sources is a complicated one.
I kind of want to read the comments. There's no way this guy looks like a winner here. I know this is so true right here. It's like, let's not forget, guys, the real victim in this story is Michael Wolff. If only we could... Has somebody thought of Michael Wolff, please? Can somebody think of Michael Wolff? Yeah, so he knew about all this shit, man. He just he was trying to protect his friend and his connections. If he blew the story, Who knows what would have happened?
You know, I guess if you pulled the lens back, it would be in its details, the making of the sausage. You know, a little embarrassing, but that's irrelevant to what you get from it. Do you get the story?
See, he's just confirmed what I just told you. He's had to compromise himself. It's embarrassing. He doesn't want to talk about the things he's had to do to get these stories. But that's the thing. It's like you got to be a little bit of a. I mean, I guess that's a slander. I don't mean any slight against whore, but he's done things he's not proud of, and he's ashamed to have to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk about it, okay? Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but you have to do it. You have to get to the story. He's had to compromise his human dignity, but hey, you know, look at him. He's successful. He's made a buck.
Do you get an inside view, which I've supplied, of Jeffrey Epstein's life, his relationship to a whole set of people, not to mention, most fundamentally, Donald Trump?
Okay, Michael, listen to me. Give me a moment.
It's like when a light goes on in a dark room and all the roaches start scattering. Oh, there's a light on all these people now. They don't like it. They only wanted to be perceived in a certain way, and now they're being perceived in a different way, a more honest way, and they don't like it.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with everything that you have said right there. And I don't mean any disrespect. I look at you differently as a book writer who's trying to extract information from people. Then you have to gain their confidence in order to get that information. So I understand that.
Okay,
I'm not expecting from.
okay.
But hold on, let me finish it. I'm not expecting from your book.
He's so bothered, dude. He's so guilty. You can see it the way that he looks around. He's got things, man, in his head. He does not want out. He does not want to be perceived in a certain way. You can see it. It's written all over him. I would love to see like some psychology expert look at this interview and tell me what they think about his body language and his mannerisms and his behavior. It screams guilt. It screams, and if it doesn't scream guilt, it screams that he is completely bothered by his past and what he's been witness to.
Or anything, some big J journalism. That's not what this is. So that's the conversation that we had. I don't think I'm being disingenuous with you, and I don't think I'm not putting you on the spot. I was actually ready to move on. That was my question, to move on to something else. That's one of those. And
Okay,
finally,
great.
All right. So that was and finally, is there anything that you would have done differently? No, I would not have done anything differently.
Okay, but
Thank you very
again,
much.
and let me say, by asking the question, the assumption
Don, why did you ask it again? Just like even referencing the question is just such a. He's so butthurt over it.
is that there might have been. That you probably think that there are areas that I should have done differently, and I just want to know what they are. And I can say, oh no,
he's
that
like,
was-
The only thing that
he's like, no, why? What have you heard? No, I wouldn't have done anything differently. Why? What do you think? Like, that's such a weak position. Like, if you are confident and honest, and if you have integrity, it's funny that he brings up disingenuous. I think he's being disingenuous here. If he was being genuine, he would just say, hey, I understand the question. No, I would not have done anything differently. But he's given the game away here.
that I would even think of as the advice thing, and that's it. I mean, you know, I have not dwelled on that much of
I think the answer to the question is now we know with the certainty is that yes, he would have done things differently. And he doesn't want to see that. That's what bothers him so much. Is that the answer to Don Lemon's question is that yes, it keeps him up at night. The things that he's done, the things that he knows, yes, he would have done it differently. But he doesn't want to talk about that. He doesn't want to admit that. He's Michael Wolff. He's a smug, full of himself prick, and he can do no wrong. It's obvious that that's what's going on. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to the page to help it grow. And if you'd like to support my work, join my Patreon for exclusive content.